session 4. Okay, so today, like Vivo told us, we would be looking at email automation with ease. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. So we're going to start with what email automation is, then we'll look at a few email actions that we can automate, and then we'll go straight to Studio and do a short preview of Outlook automation, and then we'll do a quiz, and from our quiz, we'll move on to how we can build a simple digital assistant. First, for those of us who use Outlook on our PCs, we'll look at how we can use Outlook to do that first. And then for those who use Gmail, how we can connect to Gmail and also do that. And for those of us who are here to download the exercise pack, please, this is the URL. So I'm going to give a few minutes for us to download the exercise pack for demo 2. So please, let's do that.
Can you share these links on the chat? Okay, let me share otherwise.
Okay. So while Vivo helps us to share the link, what actually is email automation? It refers to task automation related to your email accounts. We all know that as private users, as well as business people, we engage in a lot of actions that require us to check our mail accounts, to preview mails, to send mails, to download attachments, to forward emails, and so on and so forth. So you can automate minor tasks that involve your email accounts. And these tasks should, as we've said from the beginning, have a predictable structure. It means that it's a sound, a concrete logic behind what happens step to step as you go through the email task. And from simple task automation to much more complex ones, we can use Studio X to automate our emails. Now, what are the common email actions that we can automate? You can send emails just as you would do normally. Create an email message, type in the body, type in the email to address, type in the email subject, copy some people, add some attachments. You can do that too in Studio X, and we're going to see that very soon. And apart from just sending email messages, you could automate replying to messages, forwarding, deleting emails. You could have an email box, and in your account, you don't want certain mails. You're always fond of going through your email account and deleting some mails. You could automate that you have a bot that can delete those mails for you instead of you doing it manually. Then we could also automate things like downloading or saving email attachments, whether it be Gmail or Outlook. We could also move mails around. For instance, you have a scenario where some mails need to be archived into a certain email folder. You could also automate that. These are very common email actions that we can automate. Apart from these, there are other a bit complex ones, not so common. For instance, you have a scenario where every day you get to work, you go to a particular email account, there is a set of actions you need to do for each of those mails. So for that kind of situation, you can use the for each email activity to execute those set of actions for each individual mail in that folder or in that account. Then apart from that, we could also use data from Excel or from a Word file in creating email body to send as an email message. And that is going to be one of the exercises we're going to be demonstrating in this session today. So how do we use Studio X for email automation? Like we've been shown, we have what we call resources. Permit me to switch now to Studio. We've been told from our earlier sessions that when you look at our resources or set of activities, we have resources and we have actions. Now, the way this is arranged on Studio X. It's so simple and easy to use. If I go to the mail category, you will see 3 resources listed here. Use desktop Outlook app, use Gmail, use Outlook 360. So for the purpose of this session, we would be considering the first 2. Then we're going to be looking at a few actions that we can automate just to demonstrate how email automation can be done in Studio X. So the first one we're going to take would be, imagine you have an account receivable department that receives hundreds or possibly thousands of emails a day. And such emails include invoices that need to be processed. And apart from that, sometimes some people send reminders to say that their accounts are overdue. If you have such a scenario and you have human employees that will need to work on these emails one by one, you open the email, you read it, you download the attachment. And if it's an account that is overdue, you need to quickly send a response to say, we apologize for this delay. We're going to treat this very urgently. And then you want to move those emails to a particular email folder. If a human user is to do that, it's going to take a lot of time to go through all those emails. But we could automate this process and save time, and not just save time, be very accurate, and it's going to allow you have time to do some other significant things at your place of work. And so the goal of this first demonstration is to process all the unread mails in a folder called invoices. I'm going to show you my Outlook now. And then for this, we're going to see some mails, and those mails, the bot, you need to download the attachments from all unread mails and save them to a local folder on the machine called payable. And then it's going to move the emails that are overdue, that have overdue as part of their subject, move them to a folder called priority. And for each of those overdue accounts, the bot is to respond to the priority emails with an apology. So let's go about this now. So the first thing we're going to do, we want to do this demonstration using Outlook. So let me show you the mail Outlook account. So this is the Outlook account I'm going to be using. You can see it here. It has a folder called business, and there are other subfolders, expenses, invoices. And inside invoices, you can see 8 unread emails, and they have attachments, some 1, some 2, and then there's one that does not. So the first thing we do on Studio X would be to bring in our use desktop Outlook app. Now, Studio X has a deep integration with Outlook and Gmail, and that's why we could select our Outlook account. So as long as that account exists on Outlook, you could automate it on Studio. So based on what I have on my Outlook, there are 2 accounts there. I can choose to use the default one, and by default, this is what we mean. If I go back to Outlook, you'll see here, if I go to File and take account settings, you'll see that the default account, this is a default account, alpha.arami@gmail.com. So if on Studio, you select default account, it is that default account is going to use. So let's just take this for now and create the reference, leave the reference there as Outlook. If you are doing an automation that involves 2 Outlook accounts, then it is proper for you to name them so that you don't get confused as you go down building your actions. So for an example, I'm going to call this Alpha Outlook to differentiate it just for the purpose of demonstration. So after you have your desktop Outlook app, what's the first thing you do if you were working on this task as a human being? You want to go through every unread mail, and what do? You get all those emails that have attachments. So to do this, I need a for each mail activity or action. If you look at what we have here on our list, you can see for each mail. Drag this in here, then automatically you see that there are filters provided. If I check this, it means I want the bot to only consider unread mails. If I check this, it means I want unread mails that have attachments. So it should not consider emails that are unread but don't have attachments. There are other additional filters here you could use, but for the purpose of this demonstration, we will not do this. We'll do this downwards a bit. Now, you could also limit the number of emails the bot can read. You could limit it to 100, or you could remove the limit altogether and say no limit. So for every unread mail in the folder we want to treat, we want the bot to look into, it should consider them. Next will be to mails from what location. So if I click on the plus button, you could see that the moment I choose RPA Outlook, I can see all the folders that exist in my Outlook account. If I go to business, I'm going to see the subfolders that are there. So just for us to check how it is, let's go back to Outlook. You can see I have archived business and others, but inside business, I have expenses, invoices, orders, and so on. So that is the same thing here. This shows that Studio X has a deep integration with Outlook. Now, I want the bot to consider only the unread mails that have attachments inside the invoices folder. So I'm going to select that. Now, this is going to pick out all those mails. And the next thing I want to do is to download or save those attachments. So what do? If you look at our list of actions here, you can see save email attachments. If I drag that in, I can now set filters and say, okay, what are the filters I want to add? I can filter by whatever it's in the body of the mail, or who is copied, or by the date, or who is from, or the subject, and so on and so forth. So for now, let's just see if we can download. But one more thing I want to add are these two options here, that settings we need to set. The first one indicates we need to indicate the folder the bot will download those attachments to. Now, remember we said from our problem statement that we want the bot to download attachments to a local folder named payable. So permit me to go to this folder, and let me create a local folder and call it payable. Okay, so we'll come back here to confirm that the bot actually downloaded them. So I can come here, and this will give me my directory structure, and I can look for the folder, and this is it. Select that. Now, when you have that, there's this other option called overwrite. Why it's important to check this is sometimes two mails can come having the same attachment, having attachments that have the same name. So if you take overwrite, it means the newer one, in terms of how the bot treats the mails, will replace the older one. But if you want to keep the both of them, then it's important that you do not check this box. It's going to prefix the new one with, or append a number to it, so that you can have both attachments in the folder. So we're going to leave this unchecked. Now, at this point, we'll just run this bot to see if it's working as it should before we proceed to complete it. So I click on the green button there, it works, and then it's done, it runs successfully. So let's go and check our folder. You can see all the invoices have been downloaded. Okay, because we've not finished terms of our problem statement, let's select all of this and delete. Then continue. Remember, we don't just want to save, we want to also attend to mails that have overdue as part of their sorry, give me a moment. Yeah. So if you look at this, the subject of this just says trial of Q3 invoices for payroll. But this one has overdue. This other one has overdue. And let's see, just two mails overdue. we want to be able to reply to those clients or customers immediately with an apology and move those mails into this folder priority. So how do we do that? Let's go back to Studio. The first thing we're going to do is to use an if action. So with if, we're able to set a condition. Type if there, and I drag this, this place. And how do I set this condition? If I click on the plus button, there is a condition builder that allows you to easily define whatever condition you want. So for this scenario, click on this guy. For I need the mail with a subject that has overdue. So I come to this comparison factor here and take contains, and I go down here, type in the text overdue and save it. So I've set a condition that for each of those mails, if there's anyone with a mail subject having overdue, the word overdue as part of the subject, it should do something. So let's save that condition. What should it do? We want it to reply to the client and tell the client, okay, we apologize, we're going to treat this and give it top priority or give it some form of urgency. And then we want to move those mails into the folder, email folder called priority. The next thing we have to do is to look for reply to email. So I put reply to email there. And what is the mail that I want to send? The email of the person that I want to send or reply. It's very easy. You go to Outlook, selected mail. That's the email we want to send. Then the subject, we're going to type in a text and say something like, your account is giving urgent attention. Okay. Then we'll type in some text. Apologies for the delay. We shall treat this urgently. Thanks. So let's save that. We're not going to send it. So for this, for the purpose of the demonstration, we are only going to save it as a draft. Okay. Now, when we're done with this, the next thing we need to do is to move the mail into that folder. And what mail are we moving? The selected mail. And where are we moving it to? Go to the Outlook accounts you're using, go to business, you see priority, you select that. So with this, we expect that the bot is going to download all the attachments. Then for those two email messages that have overdue in the subject, we expect it will move them to the folder called priority. And if we check our outbox, yes, we're going to see the two responses the bot is going to send to those customers. So let's quickly run this again without wasting time. Oh, sorry. Something is wrong with our if. So if the subject contains overdue, okay. Oh, the to. Do not select the to. Selected mail, the from. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh. Okay. Stop. Okay. What else are we missing? Yeah, so the subject is that too. We put in a subject text. Let's check our builder again. Selected mail. Yeah, that's correct. So let me run it again so that I can read the error message and
Make
figure
sure
out
you have
what
an
is
email
wrong.
selected in Outlook.
Oh, okay.
There is no email selected. You have to select an email, or
Yes,
otherwise.
yes. So I think, yeah, this is the problem. We forgot to put it inside the for each. Yeah. So if should be inside the for each so that it can look together. If I collapse this, you can see everything is together. So that's where we made the mistake. So
And in that
I'm
case,
going
you
to
need to use the current mail instead of the selected mail.
Yep. So we'll take
Selected
the
mail will
subject
work
of this.
in an unattended scenario and allows you to select an email from the output application and use that one. And
So
to use
current
just that
mail.
one.
Yep. And then the tool as well. Yeah. So I think we are good now. In this one too, I need to move the current mail to this. Thank you for that. Yeah. So when we click on that and ask it to run, yeah, you can see that the number here is reducing and it's done. Let's minimize this. You can see that these two mails are here. These are the ones having overdue and the others are left here. Then if we check our sent mail, sorry, drafts, because we did not send them, you're going to see the first one, it says, apologies for the delay, we shall treat this urgently. Same thing here, apologies for the delay, we shall treat this urgently. So this is a nice use case for you to automate automate your email box and respond to emails with a bot, download attachments, and also move emails around folders. So that's just a quick demonstration. At this point, we'll go to our quiz. And let's have some fun for a few minutes. Okay. So for those of us who want to partake in the quiz,
yeah, I've added the details site and code on the chat. You should go to menti.com.
Yeah.
Using code 4127 3492.
So I can put it on the, okay, yes, thank you, Vivo, for putting it on the chat. So let's do this now. Okay. So the code is right. Yeah, we have lots of people. Let's wait a while.
Wait for some more time so that we have more people joining.
Okay. Should we still wait a little bit, Vivo? Yeah, I think we can
wait for
start the
15 more seconds.
Okay.
And guys, you need to be faster as well. So yeah, you need to be correct and faster because that is how it will calculate visibility.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's treat the first question now. It's a simple question. So which of the options below is an email action you might automate? It's a nice one. Okay. Time is up. So we have 38% who got it correctly. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Okay.
See who's a winner.
So this is the leaderboard now. We have automation everywhere. And Alex B and the sandwich. Congratulations to you guys. Let's see if you can maintain this position by the time we do the next one. So I'm going to proceed now back to our slides. So the next thing we want to do, this time you're going to work with me. I hope every one of you have been able to download the exercise pack. So what we want to do at this point is to see if we can have a simple automation, like a simple digital assistant that can help us send email invitation to people about an event. Now, it can be much more complex than this. In the last session, you guys were shown Excel automation and Word automation. So you could have an Excel sheet of lots of people, their first names, their email addresses, and then the date and time of the event. And you have a Word template where you've created the invitation, and you've put placeholders where you can replace the person's, the invitee's name, first name, the date of the event, the time of the event, and then you want the bot to also send the mail or that invitation to the person. It can be that complex, and so you use resources like Excel, Word, and email together. But in this case, we want to make it very simple. We just want to send to one person. We want to see how can we create an automation that allows us to provide the first name of the person we want the invitee, the date, the time, and the email address, and the bot is able to take a Word template, replace those placeholders, and send to the person. So the first one we'll do is to use Outlook, and then we'll do it using Gmail. Now, please unzip the exercise pack you downloaded and open the send email invitation folder. You're going to see two folders there, one for Outlook, one for Gmail. And we'll start with Outlook, open that folder and double click on the main.xaml file to open it in Studio. So I'm going to do the same. So this is my folder, send email invitation. And I'm going to start with send invitation using Outlook. So when I open that, I'll need to double click. Let me close this one the first time. Okay. And then I can open this. So please open yours too if you use Outlook on your machine so that we can do this together. Okay. So if you set with me, can you type ready in the chat so that I know? For those of you who are doing this with me, can you type ready in the chat? Okay. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Jess, Christino, Robert. Thank you. So let's proceed quickly. So I'll start by explaining this, and then we'll move on to add our use desktop, Outlook desktop app resource, and then try to see if we can send it. So let me do a little bit of explanation. If I open the project folder, you're going to see that we have a folder called templates, and this is the Word templates. If I open it, you see this image, then this is the placeholder for first name, this is the placeholder for the event date, and this is the one for time. So we want the bot to be able to use this to send the mail. Now, let's see what has been provided for us so far. We've used the save for later action, which is like an assign activity. So you are able to store a value for use later in the automation. Now, you can see the label here. The title of the action says invitee first name. If you look at this one, this is invitee email address, and you can see that the name of the variable is invitee email address. So this one too is event date, event time, event time. So let's just do the same here. So how do we create that variable named invitee first name. Click on the plus button, save for later use. Okay, and then I'll just delete what is here and leave invitee first name. And then, okay. So if you are done, I'll give you 2 seconds to do that. 2 seconds to do that. Okay. So after you've created the variable name there, the next thing you need to do is to assign the value. Click on the plus button again, and it's a text. So let's say we want to send it to Needy. So let's put Needy there and save. You see that the error icon that was there is gone. So I give you 2 seconds or 3 seconds to do that. Okay. Now let's look at this other one. What is wrong here is just the value. We have the variable name there already, invitee email address, but we've not given the value. So for this, I want to do the full demonstration so that I can open my mailbox and you see whether it's there or not. So I'm going to add a text and add this email address. Okay. So the error symbol there too is gone. So you can type in one of your email addresses there so that you can check to see if it works. Okay. Should I, if you are ready for me to move on, can you type OK on the chat so that we can proceed? Okay, thank you, Jamie. Okay. Okay, so it means we can proceed. So we are done with the error symbols or icons that we're showing there. So let's move down. So we are having 1, 2, 3, 4 variables or values we are storing to use later down the automation. So let's see, this second one copies the mail, the Word template from where it is, template invitation, just as I showed you here, templates invitation.docx, and it is copying it to emails. So, and it's giving it a new name, and it's using the first name of the invitee to save the file. That's why we have all of these here, project folder /emails /invitee first name.doc. So it means when we run this, we should expect to see needy.docx inside our emails folder. It's not there yet. So let's proceed. Let's see what else is there. And then we're going to have the Word file, and you were taught this in the last session, replace some text. So replacing the first name placeholder with the invitee first name, the event date placeholder with the event date, and then the event time too. So before we continue to complete the automation, let's just run this to see that it's working as we expect it to do. So it's running. Run yours too and see. So it replaces all of that and it's done. So if I go here and open this, you see that it's created a file MIDI and the placeholders have been replaced successfully. Beautiful. So if you know yours ran, can you let me see your okay works. Thank you, Christino. Jamie too. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's proceed. So the next thing we need to add here is the email automation portion. So we have the Word file that has the mail message to send to the person. But how do we get the bot to do that? Very simple. So like we said, the resource you must use in this case, since we are trying to demonstrate Outlook, is use Outlook desktop app. You add it there and you select an account you want to use. And you can leave the reference like this because we're just using one Outlook account in this demonstration. Then we need to send email. So this is the action we need down here. We'll drag it here and set up the settings. It says to who. We already have the value that we saved for later use. Click on the plus button and we go to use saved value and take invitee email address. For subjects, we can type in a text and say protection webinar Outlook. So by the time we do the Gmail, we will know that it's working. And now we want to send a Word document as the body. So we click on this radio button, Word document, and then we need to indicate the file. So how do we indicate the location or the file path to that Word document we have in the emails folder? Remember, it's already here, project folder, emails, invitee, first name.doc. So I'll just click on the plus button, go to text, Control A, copy everything there, Control C, save this back, and scroll down and go to this plus button for the file part of the Word document. Click on it, take text, and paste this and save. Now I want to send it so that we can see that it's sent. So I'm going to uncheck this save as draft. And then let's go back to our emails, delete this, run it from scratch to see whether it works. So it starts all over again. Does the replacement of all the placeholders. And it says it's done. Okay, so let's really check whether it's done. I sent it to this email address. So let's confirm that it is actually there. Okay, let's refresh. Yeah, this is it. And you can see it's beautiful. Okay, so whose own is working? Can you type working in the chat? Harsh is saying he cannot hear me. Is there anyone else that cannot hear me? Is anybody's own working? Okay, thank you, Mercedes. Thank you, VJ. So has anybody been able to run theirs? Oh, someone says the sound is not great. Sorry about that. I'm almost at the maximum here. Okay, so let's check. Has anybody been able to finish theirs and can see it sent? Okay, someone says I should repeat the steps. So I'll quickly rush through that so that we can all partake in this session and have the fun. So Cristiano, I remember you said your save value for later use is working fine. So the only one that is left is the use desktop Outlook. Okay, so Cristiano, is it the first part that's the problem or the desktop Outlook app portion? Okay, the second part, thank you. So that is the use desktop Outlook app, right, fine. So I'll do this all over again. So I'll just delete that. Instead, the first thing you do is to bring in your use desktop Outlook app resource. So can you quickly do that? Then select the mail account on Outlook you want to use. Okay, then you want to send the email. So you need a send email action. So we're going to add that there. And this is already referencing the Outlook account you have here. So we are fine with the account text box. If you go to tool, remember we
After we lost you, we were not able to hear you.
Here for later use, come down. Oh, sorry. Let me
repeat it from remember. After remember, you were saying something.
Okay, give me a moment, please. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I'll continue on this, but if you can't hear me again, just please put it in the chat so I can change to another network. So I was saying, after you add it and you select the account on Outlook you want to use, the next thing you do is to add, let me delete this so that we are back here, is to add the send Outlook, send email action. Okay? Okay. Now, we have the email address. This store field, we need to type in the email address of the person we are inviting or the person we are sending the email to. And we've already saved that here before, because if you were to move up, sorry, if we were to move up, you see this, save for later use, invitee email address, and we gave the variable this name and typed in this value. So if we go down back, that is what we're going to use here. You click on the plus button, go to use saved value, and you can pick invitee email address. Is that okay? Cristiano? Okay. Now we go to the subject. We can type in a text for the subject. So click on the plus button and take text, and we can type, let's give this another one, webinar Outlook, just to differentiate it from the other one we've typed before or sent before. So type whatever you want to type there as a subject and click on save. So we have that value there. But for the body portion of the email, we need to define what the bot will use. You can see there are three options here, but we have a Word document that already has what we want to send. So we select this radio button, Word document. But when you select Word document, you need to indicate the location or the file path to that Word document. So which means I need to pull that inside this text box. But I already have that file path here because when we are copying the templates and creating the Word documents to use for that particular invitee, we use this text here as the file path. So I'm going to click on this plus button, go select text, and copy what is here to use for my send email action. So Control A to select what is there, and then I use Control C to copy, and I can cancel this back so that nothing there is tampered with, and come down back, then click on this plus, text, and paste what I've copied. So are you there, Cristiano? Okay, thank you. So we want to send this, so we need to uncheck this checkbox, save as draft. So I'm going to uncheck that, and we are good to go. Okay, so I guess you're fine now. Okay, so just run this to see that it works. And when it is done, it's done. So let me minimize this and refresh. Yeah, it's here. You can see webinar Outlook. Right? So I think everybody is good now. Thank you very much. So let's see how we can do the same thing using using Gmail. So you can save this you've done and close it. And then let's go out. Let's open the project folder, send invitation using Gmail. Let's proceed with that. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to open it. So open the folder and double click on main.xaml to open that, open the project. So open yours. We'll wait a while for everyone to be on board. If you are ready, please type ready on the chat. Thank you, Cristiano. Oh, okay. Joanna, we're going to give you a little bit time. Okay, someone is saying, where does the invite data come from? Okay, let me show you why we wait for others to join us. Remember in the project folder, I showed you templates. So let me go back to the Outlook. Templates. This is the template, right? And then this is the template. You can see the placeholders here. First name, event date, event time. And so based on what you learned in the last session, word automation, we did some text replacement. And we were able to replace this text because we provided values for the first name, the event date, the event time, and the email address that the bot should send the invitation to. So the bot was able to create that invitation file using this template and saved it inside emails. And then this was the Word document that was used inside the send email action to send the mail. So does that answer your question? So I think everybody's ready now. So let's go back to our Gmail project. So let's quickly correct these errors like we did before. So invite to first name. So this time, let's use Vibo here. Then address, just because I want to show it here, I'm going to, this time around, let me use a different email address. So please do yours, and I'll wait for 5 seconds. So if you have been able to correct the errors showing for set invite data, can you type OK in the chat? Thank you, Jamie. Okay, I guess we are all on board here. Okay, so we've solved that. Now remember, when we're doing the Outlook automation, we use this resource, use desktop Outlook app. But that is not what we're going to use here. We need to use the use Gmail resource. So at the bottom of your use word file, let me collapse this. Can you gently drag this resource underneath? Okay. Use Gmail. Then we need to select an account. So I already have one account here, but I want to use a different one so that you can see how to add a new account. So one of the simple ways to do it, there are 2 ways to do it. You could use your ID and secrets from Gmail API. But since we are not techie people, we're just citizen developers, let's use what is at our level, okay? So we are honored to be at that level. So click on this So I want to see how many of us are here. Can we type Gmail on the chat so that we know, I know that we are here before I proceed? Type Gmail on the chat. Type Gmail on the chat. Okay. Okay. Let me wait 2 more seconds. Okay. So click on this. If you've already selected or set this before, no need, but I want to do it for the benefit of those who have not done this before. So I want to add a new account. So I'm going to take that and I just go with default as the authentication type. So just click on OK. It says you will be prompted to log into your Google account when you click OK. So that's the time it's going to ask you for your address, email address, and your password. And then there's going to be a back-end talk between StudioX and your Gmail account, and we are good to go. We don't need to know what is happening on the back end as long as it works for us. So we click on OK. And it's going to pop up here and ask me to sign in. So the account I want to use is not here. So I just type here. Then I need to type in the password. Permit me to get my password. Okay, so I'm going to get a password and put it here. So it's asking me for this, and I think I should have that because I have 2FA on my account. So yes. Okay, I guess you can still see me. Okay. So I'm going to check, read, compose, send, permanently delete, ensure this is checked, please. And we can also see edit, share, and permanently delete calendars as well. So please check this as well. Okay. And how many of us are continue? If you know you are there, can you type continue on the chat so that I know that I need to continue? So 5 seconds for us to be there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So it means we are really following. Kudos to you guys. Kudos. So we click on continue. And it says received verification code. You can now close this window. So we are fine with this guy. Oh, let's see whether it has it now. So I have to do it again because of my 2FA. So don't mind me. I'll quickly do it again. So it's here already. Check this too. Continue. And yeah, we are good to go. So you can see it here now. So this second account I just added. This is the second account I just added here. So that's the account I want to use. So I'm going to select it. And because it's the only Gmail account I'm going to use in this automation, I will leave the reference there as Gmail. Now, remember for Outlook, we added the resource. And the next thing we did was to add send email. And after we added send email for Outlook, remember, I want to show you a comparison now because the way it works for Gmail is not the same way it works. The way it works for Outlook is not the same way it works for Gmail. Okay? So I'm going to show you what you need to tweak so that it works for Gmail. So we use our saved value of the 4, which is the invitee email address. Okay? I need to hurry up now. Then for subject, I type in a text. Let's just call these protection webinar Gmail so that we can differentiate it from the other ones the same. Now, if you were to come here and check your save as draft, Let me pause at this point and let me see whether we are following. So if you know you're with me, please, can you type OK in the chat? Good. So we can continue. Now for Gmail, remember you selected Word document and then you had to indicate the location of that document. It will not work for Gmail. So let's just try it and see. So let's assume that I go up here and I select this. Don't do this yet. I just want to show you something. Don't do what I'm doing yet. So let me copy this. We did for Outlook and then come here and paste this, save this. Now, this is what we did for Outlook and we did this. But it's going to throw an error because we can't use a Word document for Gmail automation. So let's give it a bit of time. This is taking too long. Let me try and run it again. Okay. Still not stopped running. Let me see. Let me stop the presentation I have. Sorry. Yeah. Presentation. Okay. Back to. Okay. Let me quickly close this and open it again. It's taking our time. Okay. Okay, I think everything is back to how it was. So let's see if it runs now. So we have the tool, we have the subject. So let me show you the error I was talking about. So message, okay, could not find this. Yeah, remember, sorry, let me quickly change this to what you should be. Let's use invitation. Yeah, invitation. I'll change it back later. So let's set it the way we did for Outlook and see if it brings out the error that says it can't use Word document. It tries to do this, but it will fail at the point it gets to, yeah, document body is not supported with Gmail. So it's because of this in your project folder. So listen now, that is why I created this or supplied this converted for you. But how did I arrive at this converted? So this is what you do. When you want to use a Word template for Gmail automation, this is what you do. You open the original Word document, right? This is it. You save as. So let's save as inside the same folder. This time around, I'm going to call this invitation. Note, please. I hope you're doing this. Invitation underscore HTML. As save as type, ensure you select web page filtered. So I'm going to pause here and see whether you are with me. So if you know your screen is looking like mine, you have the save as dialog box. You've given the file name a new one. So the first one was invitation. That's what we are saving as invitation underscore. Let me view. So I'm saving the invitation.docx as invitation underscore HTML. And for type, I'm choosing web page filtered. So if you are there, please, can you type OK on the chat? Okay, thank you very much. It's nice to know that you guys are following. So save this. You will get this message from Microsoft Word. Don't fret. Don't bother about it. Just click on yes. Click on yes. So it saved it. Let's close this. You discover that the way it is saved, you can open it as a web page. So if I double click on this, you can see it opened the same thing as a web page. This is my browser now. So if you can see yours like this, can you type good to go? If you can open yours on your browser, nice, nice, nice. Kudos, guys. That's fine. So I'm going to stop this now. There's something else you need to do when Word saves it as a web page filtered format for you. You remember there are images inside the file. If we use this the way it is now, the mail will go, but the image will not show. So how do we correct that? If you have images in your Word template and you've been able to save it in this format as HTML, how do you ensure that the images are carried along? Very easy. You will see that when Word saved it for you as invitation underscore HTML or whatever name you give to it, it also created a folder, invitation underscore HTML underscore files. If you open it, all the images in your template will be there. And you can see it's called this image 001. So what we need to do now is to get the file path to this image or all the images you have in this folder, and then go back here and open this guy, not as a web page, right click and take open with Notepad. So if you are there, can you type OK on the chat? And I know that I can proceed. So I'm going to give us 5 seconds. Okay. Now, whatever you have here, don't fret. Just look for, remember now that the images we want to change their, redefine their file path is just one. So we don't waste time, one of them. The name here is image 001. So I will use find Control F for while I'm in Notepad and type image 001 and click on find. It takes me to the location of that inside the document. So let me make this one Control plus, make it bigger. So I think you can see this now. So if you know you are here, so I'm giving you 5 seconds to be here, you should be able to locate image 001 in your Notepad document. Okay, so let's get the file path of the document of the image now. So right click on your image, select properties. Once you see your properties dialog, go to your security tab. You see at the top object name, and the value there is the full path to the file. So just click, hold down, drag to the end, then Control C to copy. When you have that copied into clipboard, go back to your notepad document. You see this whole part within the quotes. You can see that. Replace it. So I have put in the full path to the file now. When you are done with that, Control S to save, or you can do this, save. But don't close yet. Don't close yet. If you know you are here, yeah, so if there are multiple images, you have to do this for each one of them. So that's the answer, Melissa. So now I'm going to close this first, just to check that I've not broken anything. Remember, it's the invitation underscore HTML. I replaced the image file part. So I'll open it in my browser to see that the image can still be seen. Yes, it's still there, so it continues. So go back to the folder, open it again in Notepad, so we can copy everything here. Control A, Control C, and go into your templates folder and create a Word document. So I'll pause here, 5 seconds, so that we can catch up. So we want to create a fresh Word document, then copy what we have in the notepad and paste inside the Word document and save it as a real Word document, .docx. Why are we doing this? It's because if you are not good with writing your own HTML, this is a very easy way to convert whatever you have designed as your Word template into HTML text that you can put back into your Word document. Your bot does the replacing of text, and then you are good to go. So I'll create my Word document, call it invitation, underscore HTML. Hit enter, and then double click to open it. And I can paste what I want to paste here. If I go back to layout, view, and take print layout back to how it was, you will see it has converted all I had into HTML. Those placeholders are still there. How do I know? If I look Control F and look for first name, hit enter, you see it's still there. The other placeholders are there too, whether it's event, let's look for that. Event date is there, and this also is event time. So we are good to go. The moment you have this, save it. So while for Outlook automation you used invitation, is this second file we've created with HTML text we are going to use for our Gmail automation. If you know you are here, can you type OK on the chat? So I know that we can proceed. If you know you have your HTML Word document, your HTML text in Word documents. Okay, Carlos, that's nice. VJ, nice. We're good to go. We're good to go. We are already running out of time, so we need to be fast now. Okay, so since we have this, I can close my notepad, and this is what happens here. You see, copy file template. Instead of using the one we used for Outlook, I'm no longer going to use template invitation HTML. I do that. So once I have this, I'm good to go. There's something else. We can't still, remember the error says we can't use Word document here. We need to use HTML. So how do we get the HTML text? It means we need to go into our use Word file and add a new action. And what is that new action? So we want to go to your Word category. You're going to see read text. It says read all text from a document. So drag that to be the last action in your use Word card or resource. Once you are there, we want the bot to read everything inside that document into a variable for us. So we need to click on this plus button, save for later use, and let's remove everything here and type email space and then body and OK. If you know you have done that, can you type proceed in the chat? So while people are typing, I will say it again. For Outlook, you could use your Word document, but here you've used a Word document having HTML, but you need to read that text. After the bot has been able to replace all the placeholders with the appropriate information, you need to read that text into a variable for later use. And it's that variable that will contain the text, HTML text you supply to your send email action. So that's why we have this here. Now let's proceed and go down. So when we select HTML here now, we need to indicate the text, which is in that variable. So how do we do that? Click on your send email, go to the properties pane. You see these two options, HTML body from file. That's not what we are using. We're not using a file. So we're going to click on this and select null. So if you are there, type null on the chat so I know whether I can proceed. Thank you. So since we are not using HTML body from file, we want to use HTML body from text. So click on this plus button, use saved value, email body. So let's save as draft for now and see whether it works. Let's run this and see whether we have made any error anywhere. So it's going to use our invitation HTML. You can see it open. It's going to do all the text replacements and it should send the mail. So no errors. So let's check the mail account. I think it should be this, yeah. Okay, let's check. Yeah, drafts. Can you see protection webinar Gmail? Can you see that the image is there? So which means this works. Let me delete this. And this time around, run it again, but I'm not going to save as drafts. I want it to run now. And it's going to send it to this email address. So let me run it again. So if yours is, can you run yours and let's see whether we are on point. So it's going to do all of this. While it's running, let me open the other email accounts. Yeah, it's finished running. Let me check the other email accounts. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Yeah, we got it. It's here. And the image is showing. And you can see the text right there. So if you know yours is working, can you type good on the chat? Let's see how many of us have been able to get to the finish line. Nice. That's great. That's great. Fantastic. Good. So let's proceed now to our second quiz. That's what we have on our schedule. Sorry, let me go back to, yeah. So just to recap what we've done while you prepare for the quiz, we said the first thing you must do is to convert your Word template text into HTML. Once you have that, replace all the image file paths. And once you do that, copy the modified HTML text into a new Word template. Then it is this Word template you will then use, but you now need to add a read text action as the last action in the use Word resource. Then you go to your send mail and ensure for send email, you use HTML body as text. So that's what we did. That's just a recap. So let's quickly go through our quiz now. So get ready, get ready. This is where we were before. So still the same. Wow, saying something. No, 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 no. Wow, sorry about this. Click to reload page. Okay. Let me go back and see if we can.
You may have to log in again.
Okay. So let me see. Still the same thing. Okay. This is serious. Let me see. Where do I log in now? It's not. Let me see if I can get the. Still, let me use another browser. Sorry.
I sent you link on chat if you want to click that.
Sir?
Yeah, you are there.
He's saying sign up. I need to sign in.
You don't need to sign up. You just need to sign in. Just log in.
Okay. These three. Oh,
probably
sorry.
Use the wrong
This is my
credential.
Yeah, this is my own account. Sorry, let me sign in with sorry guys for wasting your time. Okay. I hope we're still going to have what we had there before. Oh, I think we're good to go. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, sorry guys, can we continue now with the second? This is the leaderboard. So let's continue with the second question. Okay. So which resource might you use to start your email automation? So there are three options there. So let's see what you can remember from this session. Let's see. 11 more seconds. Okay. Wow, another problem again. Can't be doing this. Wow. This is not funny. This is not funny.
I think that's okay. We should not, we can just consider first winners from first session, first quiz.
Okay, let me stop sharing then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And guys, in case you have any specific question, you can ask. And I think we had 2 winners, automation everywhere, and 1 more person. I would request you to send me mail at vibhor.srivastav. And in case you have any specific question to Afi, please feel free to ask. And there was some question where you were asking where you can check previous session. So I will quickly share my screen. So if you go to, there are multiple ways. If you go to UiPath community.uipath.com, you will see join the RPA Summer School Kickoff your way in RPA. You can click here, or you can come down and then you will find a Citizen Developer chapter. If you click this one, you will come to this page. This is where you will be able to see upcoming session, or you can go to past events where you can find recordings as well. Otherwise, if you simply go to Academy, go to RPA Summer School, then you will find details of second module, which is starting from 24th of August. And you will have to join all these sessions based on your time zone. And next, my request would be that you can go to Academy and you can start your course on this one, RPA Citizen Developer Foundation course. This is a detailed course and it will be quite useful because it will give you complete understanding. Because you have already gone through this course and probably you may want to start this course as well. And what next, you will soon be receiving an email from us where we will have some of the quizzes as well. Don't worry, there are simple quizzes that we have covered in this session. And post those quizzes, you will be able to download your participation diploma, and you may wish to share it on social media as well. And you will also receive a feedback email because we are going to have second module. So if you have any feedback related to program, good, bad, great, whatever, please share with us so that we can improve in the next module. And open to any question in case you have.
It was a wonderful session, Vibhor. Thank you so much for arranging this. My only question is like, in the organization wherein we want to kind of train the colleagues at a large scale and expect them to kind of automate the small tasks. So how safe this would be in terms of security, or we will have to go through the license process because we deal with the sensitive client data, financial information, claims. How you suggest in that front?
Okay. Even when you use Studio X for automation by citizen developers in your organization, the IT department or the COE can still the governance policies that govern even what the actual ROP developers do on Studio also controls what citizen developers do on Studio X. So you don't need to fret about that at all. Governance policies from Studio will trickle down to Studio for Studio X. So security is top notch. Nidhi, would you want to contribute to that?
Yes, after you said it right. So I have pasted in the chat window where there is a good video on the governance using the UiPath Studio X, where the product manager from the UiPath Studio X itself has explained very well how you can manage such scenarios in your organization. So yeah, it would be a very informative session if you would just go through the video.
Okay, thank you for that.
And on the question of licensing, I would suggest to probably you can send me a message so that I can connect you with the respective account manager or maybe sales team. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay.
Any other question, feedback, anything? Yeah.
Vivo,
Yeah,
those who let the leaderboard pack, they to drop their email addresses so you can have them. I'm talking about the leaderboard.
Yeah, so I've shared my email ID. Please, send me that detail.
So you can see this. So congratulations to Automation Everywhere, Alex B and the Sandwich. Congrats to you all. And thank you everyone for participating.
Thank you everyone for joining, for taking time out. Thank you, Afe. Thank you, Nidhi, for a great session. And happy automation, everyone. In case you have any question in the further, you can post it on the forum. I'm sure you might be knowing about UiPath forum now, or otherwise you can reach out to us. And yeah, and see you in the next session. Thanks, everyone. Have a great time.
Thank you, everyone, and bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Vivo. Thank you.